What is going on, everyone? We want to appreciate you guys for tuning in into the Refs Call Show with your boy Gregory Bell. We got a special guest on the show today. We got the OG, triple OG, quadruple OG, my man Ray. How you doing today, my guy?
What up, man? I ain't seen you since we was in DC for that bullshit.
Man, you know what? Why do you got to unleash the trauma back, man?
Hey, man, I ain't been the same since. Goddamn it, I ain't been the same since. What's going on?
Man, I'm doing well, man. I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good, bro. I'm good. I'm good. I'm,
Good.
I'm here because this is you asked me to be here for the quarter mark, so we
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, we here, man. I just want to give everybody a shout out for tuning in. Uh, we gonna have another guest. We were supposed to, Justin, but I had an old head moment. I got my time zones mixed up. So for those of you tuning in, I live in Virginia, right? Ray lives in Chicago. Of course, I'm on Eastern Standard Time. They're on Central Standard Time, but I have to remember that I'm an hour ahead. And so we were scheduling the show, and I said 6:30 Eastern Time, right? And everybody confirmed, and I saw that they confirmed 6:30 Central Time, and I said, "Yeah," but in my mind, I'm thinking Eastern, and so that's why you don't see Justin in here. So I do apologize to Justin. Charge it to my head, not my heart. Just want to give out a quick recap. Reference season is here, so that is why the show is going on today instead of Thursday. Because I have 4 varsity games this week. I did one yesterday. I got 3 back-to-back games on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So that is why it is not going on Thursday. I also want to give a brief update on my wife. She just did a demo for Microsoft for a jingle. It'd be for one of their products, SharePoint. So we submitted the demo for that. That was pretty cool. So we're hoping Microsoft picks that up. So just keep that in your thoughts and prayers. Get our name out there on a corporate world outside of the national anthem and singing world outside of jingles. And we're also going to be working on her album next year, getting ready for that. So we're working on networking with musicians and producers and engineers, and just letting you guys know, those of you who are getting into music, it is not cheap. It's not cheap at all. You can get your equipment at home and do your own mixing and mastering, but if you want it professionally done, you're looking at a pretty penny. So, but with that said, that is a recap of my wife. And also, today is a special day for me because this is the death anniversary of Fred Hampton, one of Chicago's finest men to ever walk the earth. Fred Hampton is a personal hero of mine because of the message that he was bringing forth to the powers that be, especially in Chicago. Chicago at the time was a very, very segregated city. It still is to an extent. Um, so we want to give a shout out to Fred Hampton, and also little history nugget for you guys before we get on to the Bulls. The United Center, which is located right there near the west side of the city, there used to be, down that street is where Fred Hampton's office used to be. I don't think a lot of people know that. And on that street, there used to be some projects called the Henry Horner Homes. I'm pretty sure Ray is familiar with that. If not, this is a nugget for you. You can look it
Yep.
up.
Nah, you ain't no nugget for me. Got my guy. Not a nugget for me. I know
Yeah,
all about Fred
yeah,
Hampton.
yeah. Like I said, he the OG, so you know all about it. And
Mhm.
so, for those tuning in, a quick history lesson: there were two brothers, Latino brothers, Michael and John Soto. John Soto was a 17-year-old who lived in the home projects at the time, and he was leading a protest to get a stoplight implemented because they had children, 2 kids who had passed away from being struck by a vehicle. Well, during the protest, police got involved. There was a tussle, and unfortunately, 17-year-old John Soto was fatally shot. Now, his brother Michael was a 21-year-old Army sergeant. He was coming in from Vietnam, and he was attending his brother's funeral. Sadly, he was fatally shot by the police. So we just want to highlight the memory of Fred Hampton and John and Michael Soto. Uh, and given the fact that Fred's office was down the street where United Center is currently located, and Michael and John used to live in those housing projects, which were torn down to begin the building process for the United Center. Next time you go over there, just know you are standing on some history. I'm not sure if the younger kids know that, but the OGs like Ray and myself, we know all about that. And so just keep that in your mind. So shout out to them. So, Ray, we are here, man.
Yes, sir.
The Chicago Bulls, they are kind of going the same route that we thought they were going to go. It is, they're a scrappy team. We said
Man,
that, they're very mid. Right, right. I'm gonna bring up my screen real quick so everybody can see uh where they are. 1 second here.
Or you presenting your screen? There you
Yeah,
go.
presenting. Yeah, the screen. Yeah. So as you can see, the Chicago Bulls right now, they are in the 8th spot, right below the Miami Heat at 9-13. We got the Cavaliers in the first spot, the Boston Celtics in the second spot. Those top two teams, they're going to be, they should be in the Eastern Conference Finals the way the season is going. But this team right here, Orlando Magic, Ray talked about them at the beginning of the season. He said, look out for them. And so right now we're looking like a play-in team, man. Nothing too crazy. What do you think about them, Ray?
Talking about the Bulls, or you talking about the Magic?
You can go to the Bulls and the Magic.
Oh, okay. Well, let me talk about the Magic. I like
Mm,
them a lot. I like that young, scrappy team, and they've been doing
yeah.
it for the last couple of weeks without Banchero.
Mm,
Paulo's been out. They are like they're well coached. They don't take possessions off on both sides of the
yeah.
court. Like they really are really they're scrappy. They're good. They trust each other, and I just like that team a lot. Like when I watch basketball, like I don't like certain teams, and I think we can kind of get into that later. If
Hmm.
you're in here and you see us on before I keep going, if you're here and you see us on Twitter, hey, just do me a favor, go to my page, SK Pal, and repost the live for us if you don't mind.
Please do.
Thank you. And
Please
if you're
repost
on
it.
YouTube, share it, like, subscribe if you haven't so far. But just a little housekeeping.
Yeah,
So,
show
but
us some
yeah,
love.
yeah, show us some love, man. But the Orlando Magic are right there behind the Boston Celtics and the Cleveland Cavaliers, who like they're fucking really good, like
Yeah.
way better than I thought they were going to be. And uh what's the word I'm looking for? That front court of theirs. Oh my god. Like
Yeah.
they
Nasty,
and
man.
they don't run over each other. They complement each other so well. So
Hmm.
I like that. So the Bulls. Um I think that there's untapped there's untapped potential for the team, and I think it's going to get untapped once Lonzo starts.
Yeah.
If you watch the Bulls, and they're mid right now, and I'm not take nothing away from Josh Giddey. Take nothing away from Josh Giddey.
For sure.
He has been more than what I thought he was going to be, and he's been more than what was advertised. As far as just how a guy that tall can work the court, distribute the basketball. Well, he's got like 3 triple doubles on the year already.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Something like that. Some crazy stat. Um, So, but nothing against him. But there's a difference when Lonzo is in there.
Yeah.
There's a
For sure.
difference. There's a difference, and Lonzo a lot of the time is not in there with you know both Zach and Vooch.
Hmm.
A lot of times it's Smith in there. Um, so I think that we know who the Bulls are, but I think there's a little bit of a change that's going to come
Yeah.
if Lonzo ever starts. I don't know if you're gonna touch on Coach Donovan,
I will.
but but the last thing I could say about them is that they're never out of a game. Put it that way.
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
think I think they've been blown out maybe once this year, maybe twice, maybe once or twice in these games that they played.
Yeah.
They've been blown out maybe once or twice, but other than that, it's been close or they've blown people out.
Yeah.
So that tells me a lot. And so I don't know if Coach Donovan's gonna mess with the chemistry right now, but um, I they're better than I thought they were going to be. I will say that
Yeah. I
they're
agree
better.
with that. And
They're better.
how you feel about the Magic is how I feel about the Cavaliers. I love the Magic a lot because they're a young, talented team. They got their
Mhm.
core in place, and they're going to be around for a while. A while being, I say, about 3 to 4 years. They could seriously be title contenders. So look out for them. But the Cavaliers were my dark horse in the East at the beginning of the season because they had all the tools last season. It was just you could tell they were missing something. and that's something seemed to be they had to make a coaching change. They had the superstar in Donovan Mitchell. They had the bigs and what's my man name? Allen and can't think of the other guy's name right
Evan
now.
Mobley.
Mobley, right? And they had the guard and Darius Garland. They had everything that you needed, And so Karis LeVert was what is a good swingman. So they had everything that you needed to be serious contenders. They just had to find that missing piece. And so that is why I had them as my dark horse, and they can make a serious run for the title. If you look at the Celtics, they are the Celtics. That's the remaining. I mean, that's the remaining champs, the reigning champs right now. So like I said, I expect to see Cleveland and Boston in the Eastern Conference Finals, but I would not be surprised if the Magic somehow get there. The Bulls, Coach Billy has them playing like a college team, trying to get into March Madness and get a good seed in March Madness, if that makes sense. He he's coaching those guys up because I said this, and so many others have said this, that Coach Billy is a great college coach. He can rally up the young guys, have them play hard. They're going to be in every game, and that is how the Bulls are playing right now. They're playing as a well-oiled machine. If it were college, unfortunately, that's not going to go far. The way this team is constructed, we're not going to go far in the playoffs, even if we get there. But we're going to make it tough for you to get far in the playoffs. And so I want to shout out to Coach Billy, man, because he really could have mailed in this season, but he has really rallied those guys. And shout out to Vucevic, man.
Hey,
Shout out to Nikola Vucevic.
always.
If you guys have been following me for the past since we got Vooch, I was getting heat because people were saying, man, Vooch ain't it. Vooch is this, he is that, he's soft. And I kept telling people, I said, you do not give up a big like Vucevic because he can give you 20 and 10 consistently a night. And it is showing this. He's an all-star this year. He is an all-star this year. He played at the all-star level last year. And he's outside of the injuries since the Bulls, they had the core with DeRozan and Levine and Lonzo. He was the core piece that stayed consistent. Even in health, he rarely misses games. He's going to play hard every night. You know what you're going to get with Vooch. And so I want to shout out to him, man. And with Lonzo, I was listening to the 520 podcast with Jeff Teague and my boy B Hen and DJ Wells. Shout out to them. That's a great podcast. You guys should definitely tune in, especially when Jeff Teague goes into scout mode. And they brought up a good point with Lonzo, is that Lonzo, he kind of sees the end of the road coming near. And unfortunately, it's because of his injuries. But he's playing. I'm glad to see him playing, man. And so I hate it because Lonzo he's such a rarity in today's game with his skill set. And I want to see Lonzo get back into that starting role, but they have to get him into game shape. And getting into game shape is not an easy feat when you've been out such a long time. It is not hard, and so I do see him going down the Sean Livingston road with his career, which is not a bad thing at all. But I would not be surprised if he's here next year. I would love it. If not, I would not be surprised. I want to shout out to Matas Buzelis. I want to
Oh
make sure I
man.
did.
Hey,
Hey,
can we start talking about that young man?
hey, a
That
lot of people, bruh.
that boy, and,
Hey,
and and he ain't even got started yet.
he ain't
P.
got
Will is
started
an
yet.
afterthought. P. Will
And
is
he's
an
young.
afterthought.
Yeah,
P.
and
Will
and
is
and
he probably would never see the basketball court again.
and the thing with P. Will, because I was thinking about it earlier, I said, why is he still in the starting lineup? His P. Will's body, the way he is built, that is, and at his age, he's already built like Kawhi at 21, 22 years old. But the problem is he just cannot put it all together. You know what I'm saying? He's still playing as a raw prospect. And so the reason why I know they had Matas going to the G League or the D League, the G League now for a little bit of time was to get him acclimated to the professional game on the NBA level. A lot of people they didn't understand it. And I was telling them, I said he's still playing a little too slow. He has to get more physical. And it showed because that little time he spent in the G League, he came back and you can tell he was ready. He was ready to let it be known, like, oh yeah, I can hang with these guys. And it showed the other night when that mug. My thing with Matas, he is not scared to slam it down your throat.
He'll bang on you.
He'll bang with you in a heartbeat, and he's scrappy, and
Scrappy. He
I
plays
love it.
great defense. He
Yeah,
never he's never sitting still unless it's a
Yeah.
set play. But if it's not a set play, he's cutting.
Mm-hmm.
And the good thing is Vooch, Zoe, uh, uh, Giddy, they're all looking for him because he's coming,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So the other night, a couple nights ago? He against the Nets, he had 20 points,
Yeah.
4
20
for 5
points.
from 3.
20
Uh,
points.
yeah, he was ball. I said, dang, and he had been doing that kind of consistently. His
Yeah.
minutes have gone up.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's like the second or third off the bench now.
Yeah.
And like and I think Coach Donovan trusts him because he plays defense.
Yeah.
He plays defense. I think that I think when they do bring him in, he compliments Zoe well.
Yep.
He compliments all right. So when we first started the season, I said THT wasn't gonna make the team.
Hey.
I'm eating my words.
Hey, me
Eating
too.
my words.
Me
I'm
too.
eating my words. Shout out to THT, Chicago's own. I'm sorry if you ever hear this. This is me being a man about it. I'm sorry for doubting you.
Yeah.
I did
Same
not
here.
understand your game. Okay.
And you know who he reminds me of, Ray? He
Who?
reminds me a lot of Mario Ellie.
That's a good comp.
He comes in, he lights that fire.
Yep. Hey, and he you could tell he loves being home. He loves playing
Yeah,
for the
he
Bulls.
loves it, man.
And he's out there like he man, I was wrong. I was wrong.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you know what's funny? My wife was watching the game with me the other night and she said, "How old is he?" I
Right.
said,
24.
I said, "He's 24."
Ain't no way. Fam, he looks like he's 37. Like, I'm like, dude, he
He said that man is not 24.
He
I
is
said
not
that man
24.
is 24.
Like he
He
lied
said
on
he
his
looked like he got a 401k. He got about 5 years left till he retire.
Yeah. Crazy.
Shout out to Simeon's own, Chicago's own, Taylor Horton Tucker, man. You doing your thing out there, brother.
Thing. But back to Montez Busella. Like he is becoming one of my favorites on the team.
Yeah. Definitely a piece you can build around.
Shout out to Ayo.
Hey, I was going to get to him. I was going to get to him, Ray. Ray, you know Ayo, his downfield game is second to none. Once he gets rolling, you're not stopping him.
Yeah, once he builds up that, like you said, he builds up some steam, and he determined to get to the rack. He's getting there. He's one thing about like basketball players from Chicago, and they're all the same. They're all the same, right? Because when you start playing ball up here, and you see these guys are young, so they were around the Steph Curry era of learning how to play basketball, the LeBron James era of learning how to play basketball. But in Chicago, it's always you are a punk if you don't come in here.
You got to go strong.
If you don't come strong in Chicago, you are not playing basketball in this city.
We will not respect you.
They will not respect you. You won't get no run at no gym in Chicago if you are punk enough to not drive to the hole.
Yep.
And the young boys out here learn early. They learn that early from shorties.
Yeah.
And so they learn how to bang because the older guys at the courts are always telling you, come on. And they're talking trash and all that. So if you make it out of Chicago, you tough because you're unafraid to get in the paint and try to make a layup. So they learn how to, contort their bodies. They learn how to make crazy ass layups just from trying to do it so much in open gym forums.
Yeah,
I promise you, if you're not from the city, you won't
understand it. And I want to shout. It's funny you say that because my pop and I would go play ball with him. Shout out to Gregory Bell Sr., 30-year retired Master Chief from the United States Navy. Huge Bulls fan. He is 5'9", Ray. But will get in that paint and bang with the best of them. He graduated from North Chicago High School. I'd never seen anything like it. I said, this man is 5'9", playing like Zach Randolph. It used to blow me away. And just like you said, he would tell me, he would say, "Hey, son, you can't be a punk out here, bro. You can't do that."
No, you can't be no punk. Like Chicago, Chicago different when it comes to like how because and then you always get your cribs like out here, you know, you warming up or whatever. You always get cribs, but it's always contested. So you know that's cribs is when you know you're out there, you're shooting,
Yeah.
and you miss it. The person that's getting the rebounds gives you a layup, a drive,
Yeah.
and they contest it. So that's cribs. And that was your whole life. You getting cribs,
Yeah.
and it was just it's just it's just a way of life out here for basketball players. But that THT does it, IO does it.
Mhm.
Shit, the
Dude, my
greatest
man Jabari Parker used to do it.
Jabari Parker used to do it. The greatest one to ever come out of Chicago, Derrick Rose.
Yes, sir.
Okay, shout out to Isaiah Thomas too. He did it too. Shout out to Isaiah.
Yeah. Even though he be putting smut on Michael Jordan's name.
Right. But Mike ain't from here. Mike just
Right.
Mike made his home here.
Yeah.
And took over the city. But Zoe from here. So
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Shout out to Zeke, man. West Side.
Yeah, Zeke is he's Chicago, but all of them. If you go down the line, they're all the same. You know what I'm saying? All the same. Even KG talks about it.
Yep.
KG came
sure
from
does.
North Carolina. I mean, from South Carolina or
Came to Chicago.
Came to Chicago, and went out to the West Side. He said, I did not understand basketball till I got there. I was good, but I learned how to play basketball in Chicago. And
Quinn Richardson, Patrick Beverly,
all of
bangers.
Them. Bangers, all of them. They're all the same. And it's just how it is out here.
Yeah.
You're not gonna be punk on the basketball. And if you one of them that want to come up and shoot threes, they're gonna call you something else.
Yep.
They're gonna call you something else.
Oh, and don't be a big man playing soft.
Especially if you missing them. If you missing them, you coming down court and you missing jumpers constantly. Oh, you finna get roasted.
Oh, you gonna get fried,
it's
man.
Gonna get terrible for you.
You will get fried.
It's a bad way to be. But the worst one is if you're scared to go in the paint.
Yeah,
I had to learn that early. Like I'm down the street from there's a park down the street from Simeon High School.
Yeah,
where I grew up at Westcott Elementary. There's a field house and all that. We used to be. I don't know if it's still there or not. I haven't been on 79th in a long time, but that's where I grew up. And also King Park is on 86 and King Drive. 86, 80, might be 85th and King Drive, but somewhere right there. Well, not King Park. It's Cole Park. Cole Park and the park right there, basically where the elementary school. I forget the name of the park, but where Westcott is and Simeon is the next block up. But anyway, those are the two places where I played basketball, and like it was rough. It was rough, but that was in the 80s, and it never stopped. So if I'm talking about it from the 80s, and the 90s, it hasn't changed. That's the heartbeat of Chicago basketball.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Chicago, we weren't really known for shooters, like you said. Even when we left Chicago, we moved to Mississippi because my dad was military. We moved down there, and I was a little shorty playing on the middle school, elementary team. I was driving to the hole nonstop.
Yeah,
but it won't know. Ain't no shooting for me because if I shot, it was gonna be an air ball. I was not a shooter. I was a slasher. That's how I was taught to play.
I mean, we Chicago folks can shoot, but it's just a well-rounded point where you're not scared to go in.
Right,
go in there.
So yeah,
and that's a lot of Midwest. That might just be a Midwest thing because I think it's the same way. Milwaukee for sure because that's just Chicago transplants. St. Louis basketball players are the same
Indiana,
way. All Indiana. If they from Gary, look at Big Dog or Glenn Robinson.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Same thing.
Now I will say some of the best ball I have ever played. I kid you not, Ray. I was in North Carolina in Charlotte. I was there for a conference, and it was in the banking district. And I went inside the YMCA. The way it was set up, the YMCA was connected to one of the banks, the corporate banks. So they would all go on lunch. They would go to the YMCA. They would play ball. So I'm walking to the YMCA. I see these white guys in there playing. I say, well, I'm about to fry these guys, bro. I'm about to let them have it. Ray, I kid you not, bro. You want to talk about fundamental basketball, bro? I'm talking about.
I mean, North Carolina is another mecca. But it's a
Man,
different breed of
it
basketball. They're just
yeah,
good.
bro.
Just
It
good.
was like they're athletic, but it's more grounded with the fundamentals. I'm talking about these bankers were balling. I'm talking about middle-aged white men.
Mhm.
You play with them if you want to.
No,
I loved it.
yeah. I mean, North Carolina is known for like really. There's certain states that they come from them states. They basketball players
Yeah,
straight up. You know,
yeah, man.
Texas ain't got no slouches.
No, they don't. No, they don't. Shout out to New York too, man. I want to go to New York and ball and play on the roof one day. That's one of my goals in life. Play on one
Yeah,
of the rooftop
like
courts.
driving. Whenever I go to New York, especially if I go in the summertime, I'm always there in the summertime at some point because I got to go to my granddaughter's birthday.
Yeah.
But you know, if you're driving just on the FDR or the other one that's going through Midtown, I forget the name of it.
Hmm.
They got the basketball courts, you know, all right there. You can just see them, and
Yeah.
they be out there
Yeah,
balling.
man.
Yeah, like the
Yeah.
Rucker.
So
Rucker's still the Rucker. You
yes,
know what I'm
sir.
saying? So
Yeah.
that's
So
what.
shout out to Io, man, for keeping that Chicago style basketball alive, man. And also shout out to Zach Levine. Shout out to Zach Levine, man. He's really letting it be known that don't get it twisted. He's still one of the better scorers in the league, which we all knew.
He
You know,
made some shots the other night.
bruh. Like I said,
He's a
when
shot.
Zach is not playing like he light skinned, you're not touching him, bro. You you gotta
Exactly.
remember.
It's funny.
He's a bad brother, man. He
Yeah.
is a bad dude, and we never disrespected Zach. He had the injury history going on, and he will play soft from time to time. And but he's letting it be known that don't get it twisted. I can drop 30 on you easy from all levels, all
I
three
think
levels.
I think he drops 30 consistently.
Yeah.
I
And
mean, one player I think that hasn't really got started yet is Kobe. He's
yeah.
been doing it like normal type stuff, meaning
Hmm.
basically he'll knock a three down or two or whatever. But he
Yeah.
hasn't had that game where it's like, well, here comes Kobe.
Right.
I think the highest he scored this year is like what 25. You know,
Yeah, I
I
think
think
yeah,
I think
something like that.
I don't think he's hit 30 this year. I mean, I
Yeah.
could be wrong. If I'm wrong, forgive me. But you know, Vooch, Zach, you know, shit. Surprise player for me is how good Jalen Smith is.
Hey,
Like he's really
I
good.
don't know why Indiana let him go, but thank you.
Yeah, he's
Thank you,
really good.
Indiana.
He's
And
really
it's
good.
funny
Like,
because I hate seeing big men shoot threes. I hate it so
but
much.
what's he?
But
Hold on, let me see how much he shoots. I think he's well above league average.
yeah, he is. He really is.
Let me see. Hold on. He is. What's this? Let me see if I can pull up something. He is. All right. Come on now. I need his full stats. Let's see.
I'm looking for it myself too.
3-point attempts. He is 36 and a half. 36 and a half, bro. What's league average?
Wow.
What's league average?
Wow.
See.
I want to say league average is about what 30 between 30 and 35. I want to say between 30 and 33. I want to say.
Oh well, for his position, he's well over. for center, he's well over, right? He is.
Yeah, I think he's in the top. He's in the top percentile
Yeah.
for his position.
But shit, league average is crazy. League average is 35.6. So that's kind of
Yeah. Yeah, it's insane. Yeah, it is
Yeah.
definitely insane. And
Yeah.
so shout out to him.
And
And that
he's
was a great
36.
pickup by Acme, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely was a great
That's
pickup,
crazy.
man.
That is
And
insane, bro.
another one, my boy, who I didn't think would find some time, Dalen Terry.
He's like he's found his little niche. He's found
He has.
he's the Energizer Bunny.
Yeah. Like I said,
He's
man,
found
we're built like that college team that you don't want to face in March Madness, because if it's one and done, you're likely to get put out of the tournament. You know.
and
Uh,
and he's scrappy. He'll knock down a
Yeah,
shot or two.
yeah, he
But
will.
he's always playing defense. He's
Feisty
always
on defense. I love
yeah,
his defense, man. I love it. And good size on him too. Was he like 6'7", 6'8", I want to say.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. He's
ball handling,
to be desired.
yeah, ball handling is not. Yeah, as a guard, it could be a lot better, but he makes up for it in other aspects of his game, and that tells you that he's been working on it, and he knows that his ball handling needs to be better because you saw him working with Kobe White in the offseason. So
Mhm.
he's going to continue to work on that, and plus he's still young, so he still has room to grow.
Yeah, he's
Okay.
6'7",
Yeah,
195.
yeah. So he can definitely go down that Ron Harper type road in his career. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
he
If he
he
continues
just
to,
needs more shoulders.
yeah, yeah, for sure. He definitely got to beef up.
Yeah, shout out to Julian Phillips too.
Yeah, yeah.
Where did that kid come from?
Yeah,
Like
man.
what? That kid is
Yeah,
that kid is nice. Like
yeah.
he's a knockdown. If he in the corner, it's
If
going
you
in.
leave him open, it's butter,
It's
butter.
if he's open in the corner, just walk the other way. It's
Yep, just
going
walk
in.
the other way, man, and it's gonna be cash all net. So shout
Yep.
out to him, man. And like I said, we can definitely take a team to 6 games if need be
Hmm.
in the best of 7 series. I think we're definitely going to make the playoffs because we're a play-in team. We're going to make the play-in tournament nonetheless. But I
Yeah.
would like to, I would like to see us make it into the playoffs. The if we were, I can see us if we were to face off the Knicks. I like our chances versus the Knicks if it gets to that point in the playoffs. If we play the Bucks, I like our chances. But outside of that, when it comes to those top three, Cleveland, Boston, and Orlando, I don't know. We may have a chance to get Orlando. We may, but Cleveland and Boston, we ain't beating them. It's just not happening.
I look forward to Friday's game um at home
Yeah, I
against
know we play the Spurs tomorrow. Who do we have Friday?
Indiana.
Indiana. Yeah,
I
we'll
look
beat
forward to
them.
seeing that game.
Yeah, Indiana fell off the cliff. They fell off the cliff hard, man.
Yeah,
Uh,
but I think that they're playing better now.
yeah,
I think they're playing better now.
yeah.
Philly fell off.
Oh, hey, Ray. m-
But
I noticed it 2 years ago when Embiid should not have been MVP. It should have went to Jokic. I
mm,
said, this man. I said, you're not going to win with him as your go-to star.
mm-mm,
It's just it's not going to happen.
mm-mm.
And when I had Brian Crawford on the show, shout out to Brian Crawford, former Bulls writer for NBC and Slam. He lives up in Philadelphia. He does a lot of work with TV, and even he said it, it's just it's not. It's like something's missing up here, man. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. You're 7 foot. You can shoot. You have guard like handles with the rock. You have everything that we want in a big man, and it's just I don't know what it is, man. I don't
Yeah,
know.
it's just he is not. I don't like him. I just say it that
Yeah,
way.
yeah,
I don't like watching him play. I don't like how he plays. I hate
yeah,
everything about his game. Uh, you flopping at the free throw line is crazy.
yeah.
Uh,
Insane.
like it's I don't like it. He
Yeah,
stays on the ground. Like it's I don't like it.
way too much. Way too much. And
It's
people want to talk about ratings with the NBA. That's why ratings are down. You have a max player, a superstar, doing things like that. Nobody wants to watch that. Dude, you're 7 foot. Go in there and dominate. We've seen 7 footers dominate before. So you have a standard that you have to meet. We saw Shaq do it. We saw Hakeem do it. We saw Dwight Howard do it in his prime. Dwight Howard, when nobody touching Dwight Howard.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and you have way more talent offensively than Dwight Howard.
Yep.
So it's one of those things that is very, very frustrating. But I expect them to blow it up soon. I
Hey,
think they know the end is time.
yeah, I mean, I just think that like just to get back to the Bulls, like they I think they're gonna if they keep going on the trajectory that they're going, I think they're
Mhm.
gonna get better. And
Yeah, for
then
sure.
if injuries are not a thing, if injuries are not a thing, I think they're going to get better, and I think they're going to end the year above 500 for the first time in like 4 years.
Yeah,
And that's just, I mean, even if it's one game above 500,
it's progress.
it's progress.
Yeah.
And you know, um, they're not a team where they're a threat to win anything, but
Mhm.
like you said, the building blocks are there. They have
Right.
a decent team. Like
Yeah.
it's not end all be all with them. For me,
Yeah.
that's just how I feel.
Yeah.
You know,
I agree. And the only thing, the Achilles heels for the Bulls is defense.
yes,
We're one of the worst defensive teams
and
in the
they
league.
just take so many. Like how I said, Orlando doesn't take them off.
Yeah.
No possessions off on defense.
Mhm.
They have so many defensive laps,
Yeah.
bad angles,
Yeah.
the pick and roll,
Mhm.
bad, um, uh, what's it? Rotations. The
Well, yes,
rotation.
and you're exactly right because you know one of the things that they do, which pisses me off, because you know this is Vucevic's or just Vuce's. You know this is one of his dings when it comes to his scouting report. He is not a good defender. Why are we leaving him on the wing or even at the 3-point line, 1-on-1 when a switch occurs? If anything, if I'm Coach Billy, and he probably does tell his guys this, maybe he doesn't. I don't know. I hope he does. But when you have a guard drawing up to that high ball screen that everybody does in the league, you know they're trying to bait Vooch. Have your guard fight through that screen, whether he goes over or where he goes under. We know in today's game, you cannot go under a screen because they're going to light it up from three. That's just the way the nature of the game is. So you're gonna have to. They got to fix something, because they're making Vooch look bad on defense, and he's already mediocre at best on defense.
And the after he gets beat, the rotation over for help is never there.
It's never there. The lane is wide open, Ray. Wide open.
I mean, that's why we get so many dunks.
Speaking of dunks, you see what Jalen Brown did the other night to us? Like, come on, bro. We can't have that.
That was disgusting.
I
I'm
want to see.
sorry, Jalen
I want,
Smith. Jalen Smith should have. You got. You blow the whistle, ref,
bruh,
because this is unreasonable. What just
murdered him. I
happened.
want to see Zach Levine doing that. I don't want to see our guys getting put on a poster.
Zach hasn't put nobody in a poster in like 4 years.
Yeah, it's been a while, and
It's at least maybe 4 or 5 years. I think the last time I seen him put somebody in a poster was when he first came back from his Achilles
yeah,
and he banged on somebody. I want to say it was Milwaukee. He went baseline and
yeah,
he jumped and he just put him in the basket. But
yeah. And speaking of posters, just to give you guys viewers tuning in, we want to thank you guys for tuning in to the Refs Call Show special episode, quarter of the season mark with the Chicago Bulls, and we got the ambassador of the brand here, Ray the Barber. So when it comes to dunking, those who never played ball, I want you guys to know I'm 6 foot, right? In high school, I had a 38-inch vertical. I did my first dunk in my sophomore year of high school playing the game of horse, right? Dunking takes a lot on the body, and I mean a lot. And a report came out today. John Morant, he
he
said that
said he's not dunking more.
he's not going to dunk as much because it takes a lot on the body. It's a lot of explosion that happens. And so I know a friend of mine, well, not a friend of mine, but an associate of mine, he plays ball overseas. His name is I can't think of his name right now. Shannon Evans. Look up Shannon Evans whenever you get the time. He plays overseas. He's balling right now. Him and I are about the same height. And I was catching up with him getting breakfast one time, and I said, "Man, how you doing?" He said, "My body hurts." I said, "Really? I've been seeing your tapes, man. You been doing it." He said, "Yeah, but bruh, a lot of people don't know this. You may see me dunking the game, but it hurts." And so I think that's why Zach is not putting many people on a poster that much, is because it takes so much on the body, man. And so
Yeah,
just a little basketball nugget for you
yeah,
guys.
I think Zach is one of the most easy, graceful leapers
Oh,
ever been.
effortless.
Right, like
Going back to his high school tape.
yeah, it's just like he just goes and he's up there. Like he
Yeah.
just like that was the thing. Like with Jordan, Jordan was just effortless.
Effortless, man.
Like it's like he doesn't have to put that much pressure on his body to get there.
Yeah.
But Ja is so violent with his jumping
Mm-hmm.
that I understand why he would say something like that, because
Yeah.
then he's so violent and he gets so much out of that violence
Yeah.
where he's doing all those crazy dunks and stuff.
Yeah.
So I bet he's been and then you look at somebody like Zion, who has to put so much torque on his body because of the weight, and he has to that force that's required from him to get up and bang like over time. I knew it in high school. I saw him play in high school in South Carolina. Like
Yeah,
I said he, thinking to myself,
he
like,
ain't gonna last much
he's
longer.
not gonna last long. He's not gonna last long. And then when his shoe broke at that game when he played
And
with Duke,
Duke, yeah,
I said, "There it is, there it is." Like I knew it was coming, and it was and it just kept going and going,
and
going.
he's another one. I made a tweet about this. Zion Williamson has the potential to be one of the greatest basketball players we've ever seen. We saw it when he was healthy. Nobody in the league was touching him. Nobody. You talking about Charles Barkley, but at 6'8". It's unreal, man. And it's so unfortunate, man. It is so unfortunate. I know one of the guys that we follow on Chicago Twitter, he was telling me that he's a personal trainer, and he said the same thing you said, Ray. He was watching Zion in high school, and he said that, man, his gait is not going to last much. His body's not going to last long. And I feel bad because you saw it as a spectator watching him in high school. So the question comes to mind: what were the OGs at? What was his father or his mother or somebody to really get him to teach him, even at a young age, to take care of his body, because he's such a fantastic specimen of an athlete, man. It's very unfortunate, but
Yeah, like he's just um he's just a what's the word I'm gonna look for here? He's just a it, it- Greg Oden type thing,
yeah.
like because
Mhm.
Greg Oden, if
Amazing athlete.
amazing athlete, and he had a chance to be one of the best big men ever.
Yes, sir.
Body, right?
Yep.
It's nothing like Brandon Roy, where he just had degenerative things happening with his knees and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, but Brandon Roy was my guy, but
Man,
he was he was
bruh.
he was nasty.
He was like Kobe 2.0, man.
Yeah, he was just simple, fundamental basketball.
Yeah.
Simple fundamental basketball with him, and he anyway. We're going off on a tangent about like just how, but basketball in itself is a violent sport. That's why most
Yeah.
basketball players' feet look like this.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
professional basketball, like these are their toes.
Feet are
They,
horrible.
they like just be,
Yep.
and you be like, why they? But it's because they're stop, jump, jump,
Mhm.
jump, stop, stop. Your toes are in them gym shoes, just rubbing and rubbing and rubbing. So it's just
Mhm.
like, yeah. I mean, I love the game of basketball. I never played it. I even played in high school. I wasn't good enough
Yeah.
to play in high school, uh, but I played a lot of like wake up Sundays in the army, and army basketball was competitive as shit. I played a lot of what they used to call we our unit would play other units on the
Yeah.
base.
Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, so we would play on the base, and it was fun, and it was very competitive,
Mhm.
and I saw myself getting better as we would practice and practice, practice, practice. I'm like,
Yeah.
"Man, I could have played this game at a high level. I could have played any sport at a high level had I been able to just to be focused on one. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? I thought baseball was my best like sport, but I was never able to really truly focus in on that one. Circumstances in my childhood stopped it,
Yeah.
but
For sure.
like the athleticism was there. Like, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like I was very athletic. I was
Yeah.
very I was fast. It was just like it was a I felt like looking back, and this is my therapy time, y'all. It's my channel. So if
That's
you
all
don't
good. Talk about it,
if
man.
you don't want to hear my therapy, talking about my childhood to
That's why
get
we
some of
here.
this shit off, right? Like I felt like wasted talent a talent was wasted from me. My father
Mhm.
did not see it. He was more driven by having me be underneath his wing on what he was doing with his life, and
Yeah.
he the son right next to him. So no, you can't go to practice for this. You can't do that. You can't go to the cages. You can't. And it was just like it was a waste of talent. Now, had he
Yeah,
cultivated my talent, especially baseball,
could have
I
been
would
something.
I would have went. I would have definitely did something because I
Yeah,
was good.
yeah.
I was good.
Same here.
So
It sounds like my story. I was a natural athlete, and I got that from my dad. We had a family member, my great uncle. He actually fought for the Golden Gloves.
mhm.
He was a boxer, professional boxer, and so we come from a family of athletes on my dad's side, and so I did a lot of sports, basketball, volleyball, uh, marching band, you name it. So I'm right there with you, Ray. Just a
Jay
natural athlete,
Tarbulian.
and there he
Come
is.
on, man. He's not Jay Targaryen.
You people.
He's
Let me
Jay
tell you something.
Tarbulian. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Jay
Jay
Bullion.
Bullion, baby.
What is going on, Justin?
Yeah. Let me tell you something. When you say EST, that means East Side Time. Okay? That's what that fucking means. East
Not
Side
not Eastern Standard
Time.
Time, East Side
No,
Time.
no, those are that's what the lames use it for. And
Man,
ESPN.
I told Ray at the beginning of the show. I said I don't know how I did that, man. My brain was doing two things at once,
You getting
and
old.
so
That's what that is.
nah,
See,
never
look, there
that.
you go. Can't do
Never,
two things at once. That's why women
never
say the
want,
stuff they
never
say
that,
about us.
Justin. Never that. I'm 32 years young and strong. I'm still a young bull. You feel
Oh,
me?
yeah. Damn, I think I'm older than you. Low key,
You're
Greg.
the same age as him.
You were born in 92 or 93?
92.
You old as fuck. Yeah. Hey, did y'all talk about how the best thing that AK done for the Chicago Bulls is trade for Josh Giddey?
we touched on Josh Giddey, but
We
you can
touched
talk
on
about him.
Josh. Yeah,
You can
Yeah,
talk about the Mr.
yeah,
Triple Double.
yeah.
yeah.
No,
How
I,
you feel
I
about
mean
him?
it's not like that. It's just the most important thing for the Chicago Bulls franchise and the organization is getting Lonzo insurance.
Yeah,
Lonzo is so vital to what we want to do offensively and our versatility defensively that you're better off instead of probably trying to get another superstar. Hey, why don't you get somebody that does the stuff that Lonzo does? That
yeah,
way, when he leaves the floor, you don't really lose value.
yeah.
Like last year, what pissed me off about the Bulls is I knew they were a bad team, but the way they were coughing up plus minus in the second and third quarter, it's like, why are you people even dressing? Like, I know for a fact Zach LaVine is not a premier defender. There's
Mm-hmm.
no way he should have 20 points and be a minus 17.
Mm-hmm.
That is where the Bulls are right now. You could score 20 points and you'll still be in the red with plus minus. Josh Giddey is the adjacent to that. Versatile defender, size, couldn't handle the ball. I mean, I don't want him shooting a jumper, but hell, if he's open, he had to take it
He's been
because
knocking it down sometimes
yeah,
though.
he has to take it because the Bulls need to shoot volume threes. Like
Yep.
they just, it's at the point, Greg, and you a ref, you know for a fact that passing up shots is worse than missing them. The
Mm-hmm.
Bulls the Bulls aren't even good with ball movement, but they pass out of open jumpers.
Yeah.
That it hurts. It hurts to watch that.
And
Like,
I'm gonna tell you,
yeah,
as
go
a
ahead.
ref, we love it when players pass up shots. Whenever the ball is just going from side to side, perimeter,
Make your job
to
easy as
it
hell.
make my job easy.
I get to take a
Yeah, I gotta take a break,
get a breather.
and then we go into halftime and we tell each other, and these fools ain't shooting no shots. They wide open. And so you're exactly right, man. It makes it easy to defend. And then you become somewhat predictable because now you're not attacking the defense. So
Imagine how easy it was to guard the Bulls with no Zach LaVine on the floor, no Lonzo. It was just Patrick Williams and four of the humans.
yeah.
Yeah, like we was talking about it earlier before you got here, just like the Lonzo Ball is basically, if we don't know if they're gonna do the chemistry change, right? Are they gonna bring Zoe in to start, or will they stay with Gideon and keep building Zoe up, right? And I don't know if Billy Donovan is gonna change it. But to your point, they went out and got a guy that can do Lonzo type stuff, and just been showing that he is unafraid to take a shot, right? He's definitely looking to find the open man. He's going to play defense, right? He's going to play defense, and he doesn't take possessions off on either side, right? He's always moving, he's always cutting, he's always whatever. Those are Lonzo traits. He may not see the floor or be able to make the passes like Lonzo does, but he does what Josh Giddey does. In turn, once Lonzo does come in, the team doesn't lose anything, to your point, but they also get better. Like every time the Bulls have pulled away from a team, it was when Zoe was in the game. The 9 wins that they have, when you see Zoe, when Zoe was healthy, they would pull away in the second quarter.
You know why?
Go ahead.
Because like rebounding is so fucking important for a team like the Bulls, because you're not good on ball defenders to just take the ball out of somebody's hand. You have to put yourself in position to rebound. Let's start at the top of the fucking circle, Greg. You know, if I got eyes in the back of my head and I'm not getting backpicked, that means that 6'10" guy on the wing ain't finna get pushed underneath the rim trying to help me out on the pick and roll. I can give him an opportunity to stay in good rebounding position. I'll give you a prime example. Look at what Jalen Smith is doing off the bench. Nobody's talking about it. Jalen Smith could be one of those factors that can help us down the stretch because of his energy. He can stretch the floor. And he's window to window. And
yeah, we talked about him too.
He could shoot.
Let me find out Justin knows something about some ball, bro. You sound you're impressing me right now, man.
So this is an opportunity I could talk about my nerd stuff and back. So analytics in basketball is very important because with the volume of shots and how much usage each player is getting, you got to accumulate all that data. For example, there's more data in 48 minutes of basketball than it is in 20 at-bats of baseball. Think about it. I'm going to be hitting in the same lineup, right? But I'm not going to be in the same defensive position on a basketball court. Sometimes I'm going to be at the top of the key. Sometimes I'm going to be in a corner. Sometimes I have to guard the whole floor. Usually in baseball, it's more stationary and positional. With basketball, the fluidity is so important. I grew up watching the Spurs. The Spurs are my favorite organization of all time. I love the Bulls. Diehard Bulls fan. I'm a fucking homer.
No, I know what you're saying.
I'm a homer. But watching Manu Ginobili, Tim Duncan, watching those guys work, it made me appreciate the team aspect of basketball. That's what makes Lonzo and Josh Giddey so important because they're good players, but they elevate the team. See, you can't, you don't have to look at their individual numbers to see. You won't see it if you're looking at their numbers. You have to look at the team's efficiency, defense, fouling, how many times, turnovers. Like, even though the Bulls have a turnover issue because they got a lot of sloppy dribblers. Like, Zach LaVine is one of the sloppiest dribblers I've seen in my life.
Yeah, it disgusts me. That's one of
The turnover. Once the Bulls limit the senseless LeBron turnovers where I'm dribbling it off my foot or I'm off timing just a little bit with that dribble handoff, they're gonna be fine because they're not coughing up points. The Bulls give up more points from turnovers than they do from bad defense. And that's just on an athletic standpoint. So as far as like where the Bulls are right now, I'm happy because they're at least going in a direction of putting the best, most athletic product on the court and letting everything work itself out. I think they made a mistake.
Before you came on,
you sound just like us, man. You sound just like us.
We said an hour ago.
Yeah.
So that means we're on
impressed.
Point.
Yeah, I'm impressed.
That means we're on point.
Yeah, bro. Like basketball is not. It's not 97, 98, 99. Tracy McGrady versus Kobe Bryant versus Kevin Garnett. These guys aren't really that good. So the team aspect has to be in play 100% of the time in this generation.
What was I saying about the Bulls? I said we play like that team that if they get in March Madness, you do not want to face them.
No.
That is exactly what you're saying, Justin. Like you don't want to see us because we're going to make it scrap. We're going to make it hard for you. And if you play around with us, we're going to mess around and beat you.
Bro, I can't wait until Billy Donovan switches the offensive roles between Josh Giddey and LaVine, because LaVine gets himself in a position on a smaller guy on that right-hand side of the floor, and he settles for 20-foot fucking jumpers. Zach, I swear to God on my father's tombstone, you take 4 power dribbles, you put that light-skinned shoulder into his fucking chest, and you bank it off the window. If Russell Westbrook has one of the worst jump shots in the NBA history, but he's the best off the glass in that high block. That's a skill, Greg.
Oh, for
That's
sure.
that shooting it off the window is a skill. And I know there's some lacking in Zach LaVine, but I want him to get deep. I want him to get deep and take them. They got 6'1", 6'2" guards on him, Greg.
Hey, but I will say he has adopted some Kobe into his game because he's playing more back to the
You
basket.
like that turnover?
That turnaround, Jay. Hey, that was a lost art for the longest of time. And sidebar, this is what I wanted LeBron James to do 3 years ago when he came to the Lakers. I was telling people, LeBron, have him on that low block because he's still 6'8", 230. He's still one of the strongest athletes in the NBA. A lot of people at that position is not going to stick with him.
They
You
can't.
have LeBron on that low block and have him play back to the basket like Kobe did later in his prime, like Jordan did. Since you want to compare yourself to Jordan, take notes from Jordan and become that
can't.
unstoppable force.
He can't.
But you know that was my sidebar because I'm proud of Zach. I'm proud of Zach for adapting that into his game.
Yeah, because that's like you got to make a conscious effort. Like we all know that Zach looked up to Kobe,
Right.
but when you're sitting here shooting 45% from three, 50% from the field, 85 to 90 from the free throw,
Mhm.
like that, those technical turnaround shots for Zach LaVine, he was never really being put in that position because Zach can just take one dribble, stand still, hit a three in somebody's face.
Yeah.
Like that has been there. The tomahawk jams, the athleticism has been there, but the technical part of the game, like I'm gonna give you an example, Greg. Zach LaVine in baseball is like a fast guy that only has about 10 to 15 stolen bases a year. It's like, I know you're fast, but do you know how to take a good secondary lead?
Luis
Do you know
Robert.
how to? Yeah, exactly. Do you know how to wait until that pitcher's knee is going towards home plate before you take off? That's stuff that you got to learn. The culture of the NBA, the defense ain't good enough to make Zach LaVine work over that left shoulder.
Right.
The defense hasn't been good enough to let these two and a half guards, because they're basically small forwards being forced to do shooting guard shit.
Mm-hmm.
These 2.5 guards, they're not good and capable enough to take somebody down on that low block. Do you know how good you got to be elite in the post? Like, people don't know. Michael Jordan is the best post player to ever live. You know why? Because he was better than Hakeem. That's the end of it. Like, no matter if you were bigger than Mike, stronger than Mike, when you get down in that 11 to 12 foot range, you're getting cooked. You're gonna get cooked. He's unstoppable. The league has not put more players in a position to work on their craft enough to get to unstoppable. They have to be born unstoppable.
Now, I will say the Bulls, they did have a player like that during a summer league run and preseason run. He's overseas right now, Kenny Lofton.
Oh yeah, it's gonna take time.
I wanted the Bulls to keep him because the thing with the Bulls, one of the thing that hurts them, and this is another lost art in the NBA, is that traditional power forward position. When DeMar DeRozan went down, when LaVine went down for a short period of time, especially when Lonzo went down, I wanted the Bulls to change the offensive philosophy and make a run for a solidified forward to pair along with Vooch. And I wanted that to be either Domantas Sabonis or my man that's in Portland right now. I think it's Grant or whatever. But if we had that right now, if we had either Sabonis or a player like that with the team that we have now, we could really be a force with the league because we're not far from it. The way this team is currently built, we're not far from it.
Yeah, the Bulls don't have nobody to slow the game down. We was talking about it before. Like, Zach LaVine is technically their best post option right now, and he has it's like a little fucking glass barrier between him and the fucking lane in regards to a back to the basket situation. But you talk about Sabonis, You talk about Lofton. I'm gonna give you another one too. He's been a little bit banged up the last year and a half. Evan Mobley. I feel
We
like
talked,
Evan
hey,
Mobley.
He was watching the game earlier. I mean, he was watching us earlier, bro.
No, those
bro.
ain't fucking words.
Ray, what was I saying, Ray?
Evan Mobley.
Hey, that's why Cleveland was my dark horse at the
Yeah.
beginning of the season, and it's showing.
Yeah, because
And
you could.
you're not doing anything against those bigs. You're
Yeah.
not.
Oh, and then think about this, right? Utah had an issue because they didn't have an answer when Donovan Mitchell was cold. They had
Uh-huh.
no volume score. You're not going to let Donovan Mitchell shoot you out of the game because once Mobley gets somebody down in that blender, it's over with.
It's a wrap.
It's
It's
a
a
wrap
wrap.
because that's an all-day thing.
Mhm.
Sabonis is going to kill you all day.
Mhm.
That's what makes him a 22 to 26 point scorer, fucking 11 to 14 rebounds a night.
Right.
And 2.5 blocks. Because people be
Mhm.
trying to dunk on Sabonis.
And he's not.
Low
Yeah,
key.
he's a defender at that rim. And there's another
Yeah.
guy that I was a huge fan of that I want the Bulls to make a run when Memphis let him go. Jonas Valanciunas. I don't know if I
Yes.
said his name right, but he was
Yeah, you
another
did.
one. He was another one. And
Yeah,
so
we haven't like that Luke Longley, that Omer Ashik, even
Mhm.
playoff Brad Miller.
Brad Miller, yeah.
We didn't have that in the center spot unless it was Joakim,
Mhm.
Powell, or fucking Vooch now.
Yeah,
But
Vooch now. Yeah.
but it's too like their level of talent is too high for them to do
Yeah.
the dirty work as much as those guys did. Luke Longley knew he was only getting like 6 points a game. He knew
Yeah.
I'm better off fouling out more than getting a double-double.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, it's like everybody want to talk about the past generations and everything else. No, it's just you gotta put these guys in position to evolve.
Yeah.
Like I
For
love.
sure.
I don't know if you guys talked about Victor Wembanyama.
We haven't talked about him yet.
I feel like the Spurs have hit the lottery
Oh, for sure. I agree.
because
I agree with that.
if you wanted to give Wilt Chamberlain one skill, you would say, I wish Wilt had a jumper. And look at what's happening. This man is
Yeah.
hitting 6 threes with 4 blocks a game.
Yeah.
Now, I had on the spaces, I was talking to the guys. I think me and Quez are the only people that believe this. I think Victor Wembanyama has a chance to be better than Jokic in the next 5 years.
He has the talent. He definitely has the talent to do it.
What's he 20, 21?
Yeah, I think he's 21.
The only problem is Jokic got them MVPs in that fucking ring, bro.
Jokic, he's my favorite player, bro. And he's my favorite player in the NBA right now. And because he plays team ball, but he's also a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah,
And
he's averaging 23 and 10
yeah.
right now. And he is why do you never here you go. He's only 20. He turns 21 on the 4th of January.
What was that, Victor?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Victor, he definitely has the talent and potential to be a better version of Jokic. He definitely does.
Let me ask you a question, Greg, because that's interesting that you said that Jokic is your favorite player. Do you think if Jokic played for the Bulls, he'd be the second greatest player of all time in their regard? Do you put Jokic above Scottie Pippen? Knowing what you know right now, let's just say Jokic got a ring, the couple MVPs. I don't know if he got 3 or 2.
I can't say because they play two different positions.
But did they? If Scottie was 7 foot, he would have Jokic's role. The ball handler, because you got to think.
Yeah, he would. You're right. You're right. He would.
Mike was more like Jamal Murray, but he only had the ball more because he was just the greatest fucking player to ever play. So I'm gonna give Mike. I'm gonna give Mike the ball, but Jokic don't have to give Murray the ball as much as Scottie had to give the ball to Mike.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
But it's hard to compare a guy that's 6'7" to a guy that's 7'2".
7'2", and then
with walking 10 assists.
Bruh, that's why he's my favorite player, man, because he gets everybody involved.
Yeah.
Everybody involved. And then if you try to bang with him down low, you're not stopping him.
It's crazy, bro. People be lying on the internet talking about he out of shape because the way he be breathing and stuff like that. I'll be like, no, That's a facade, bro.
Bro, it's funny you say that because we was talking about that with Lonzo. I said you could tell the Bulls are trying to get Lonzo back into game shape. And I was thinking about this earlier. A lot of people don't know how tough basketball is on the body. You're talking about fighting through screens, fighting for rebounds, going up and down the court nonstop, playing offense and defense, going 100 miles an hour. Like that is hard. So you have to be in shape. And the fact that Jokic does that consistently,
Yeah, bro.
he's not out of shape at all.
People don't know. Like Larry Johnson, Charles Oakley, those guys had a role. Do you know how hard it was chasing Sean Kemp up and down the court? Do you know what it's like finding out that you got to guard Charles Barkley and Kevin Garnett in the same
Shoot,
game?
if you want to bring it to our generation, Blake Griffin, before he got hurt.
Like Blake with no jumper was a handful, bro. Literally.
Yeah, if you want to take it there. So a lot of people they really underestimate
The
the
NBA is
athleticism.
lucky Blake Griffin didn't come into the league with his jumper. Because if he came into the league with his jumper,
He would
I
have changed
don't
the
know.
game. He definitely could have changed the game because a lot of people are calling him the next Charles Barkley. His game
Yeah.
definitely favored it, but unfortunately, he just
Hey, y'all want to know why? Like
I
everybody,
thought you was finna say he's too light skinned. I was finna fucking
nah, I didn't.
y'all want to know why people be on. So earlier we was talking about Chicago basketball players, right? Justin, you know how the breed is out here. Like you can't be no punk. You can't be no punk playing basketball in Chicago, right? What happened to Anthony Davis? Like what happened to him? Because he
That's a
wasn't
good question.
he wasn't that. He wasn't what he is.
That is a great question.
this-
Man.
Well, I think he's still
Because he was a Chicago type player at one point in time in his career, right?
Yeah,
And
I
then
think I don't think it's a talent issue with Davis. I think he's just playing in LA. He's lost it after, especially winning that ring too. I think the ring was the worst thing that happened to him as far as like his drive, because the Lakers wasn't a callous organization. Anthony Davis got to the Lakers 20 years too late. If Anthony Davis would have got to the Lakers in 97 or 98, this would be a very different conversation. Still the same Lakers, but the culture inside that building.
or had he played with Kobe?
Had he played with Robert Horry? What about, okay, I'm going to tell you something right now. Rick Fox. If Anthony Davis played with Rick Fox, he would be tougher now.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Oh, I agree with that.
No, I agree. Like
Rick Fox, Ryan
he
Madsen.
was tough when he played in New Orleans. When he first came into the league, he would bang on anybody.
Man,
He would get up. He would do all the
Everything.
things he said Chicago people, and then he's just not it.
yeah.
The only reason I brought it up because when I went to the NBA website just now, because I was going to pull up the standings again.
Yeah.
And he was on the front page, and I was just like, that's another Chicagoan. Like,
Yeah.
wait, where did he play? Where did he play? I don't know where he went to high school.
Who?
Anthony Davis.
Perspectives.
He went to Perspectives.
Yeah, Perspectives.
Yeah, y'all talking about that's the college. That's the college prep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He I
that's
think
the mentality.
Yeah, I think what happened with him, man, when he was in New Orleans and everybody knew that he's what you want Embiid to be. Talent wise, they're identical. But when he was in New Orleans, he was that guy. Give me the ball. I'm taking over.
Look
You
at
know
what
what
he
I'm
almost
saying?
did to the Warriors. Like,
Yeah,
people gave DeMarcus Cousins a lot of credit for that series. Anthony Davis was immortal.
Yeah, I don't know. I have this theory that when they get with LeBron,
I agree.
It's like an osmosis happens, and they become a different person.
I agree, except for one person, and that's the reason why he said he would never. I knew he would never team back up with him again.
Who was that?
Kyrie.
Mm-hmm.
Kyrie, him and LeBron don't jive.
Yeah,
It's two different people.
Two different people, two different
Two different
mentalities.
people, two different. Yeah,
Yeah.
And
he was-
people try to use narratives and agendas to ruin the relationship Kyrie and LeBron had. When no, Kyrie made a decision. I
Yeah.
can't socially play on the team with you. I
Right.
respect you as a man.
It's nothing
as a,
personal.
as a leader. It's nothing
Right.
personal. I
Right.
can't work in this environment. How about
Right.
that?
Exactly.
That's basically what it was. Like,
It's
Right.
hard for me to play well with others when I'm on the team with LeBron.
And it shows with his stint in LA. We're seeing it with so many players that have come through, and the players that they gave up. Because when I realized it was going to be a problem was when he went back to Cleveland and they gave up Andrew Wiggins and brought in Kevin Love and sort of all these other guys. I said, wait, Andrew Wiggins would be the perfect prototype to learn under LeBron. So
and look what they did in Minnesota.
Right. So they traded him to Minnesota and they brought in all these other guys. And then he comes to LA. They move Lonzo, they move Julius Randle, they move Kyle Kuzma. They had all these young pieces that could
Jordan
play.
Clarkson, Josh
Jordan
Hart.
Clarkson. They had
what's Slim down in New Orleans?
Yeah, Josh Hart.
No,
Josh Hart.
no,
Not Josh Hart.
Brandon
Ingram.
And Brandon Ingram.
Yeah.
Lakers
And
had a fucking gold mine.
so think about this. Think about this. The way if you have all those players, if you just had a few of those players, let's say they kept Lonzo, let's say they kept Randall and BI. LeBron comes in there and say, hey, you got some talented young guys here. Surround me with them. I'm going to teach them how to be a better professional, how to be a better ball player. We're going to run the table. Imagine LeBron now with those guys around him. He'll be unstoppable. Unstoppable.
Man only probably had to play 28 minutes a night.
Exactly. And he wouldn't have to run the entire offense like he has to do. He really doesn't have to do it because you have D'Angelo Russell, who is a capable point guard. You had Westbrook. You could have ran the offense through him as well, or had him
Russell
lead the
Westbrook
offense.
being the 8th guy on the depth chart.
The Lakers have no one to blame but themselves, and unfortunately, LeBron had to take a lot of that blame as well.
And
Mismanagement of resources, baby. I love it.
yeah. So I mean, it's just what are you gonna do? Like,
Yeah.
I went to the stands because I was wondering where they sat. They're 9. They're 12-9. The Lakers. But the Spurs. We were talking about the Spurs. I was like, where they at with Victor and the Chris Paul experiment?
Jeremy Sochan too. Another people don't talk about him for the Spurs. Jeremy Sochan.
Oh yeah.
Carbon copy of Zach Giddey, except he's more power forward eccentric.
Yeah.
He's more like a younger Boris Diaw, but
Okay.
a little bit more.
Oh, nice.
Hey,
I like that. Appreciate that scouting report. I'm gonna check him out.
Bro, he's so cold, and it's crazy because you know who's the biggest beneficiary from him? Wemby.
Yep. He doesn't have to work as hard. And you just reminded me of something, Ray and Justin, thinking about Chicago guys. So this is a Chicago guy that's trying to get back into the league. He's working hard now. He played at Whitney Young. What's my man's name?
Evan Turner?
No, not Evan. The big man. He was drafted by Philly.
Oh, Joel Okafor.
Jaleel.
Yes.
Okafor.
He would do wonders on this Bulls squad. Imagine if the Bulls were to bring him in and you pair him with Vooch. Now you got all those young guards. You got to force down low. Now Vooch doesn't have to work as hard on the inside. I'm just saying, Bulls, make that phone call.
Give me Jaleel Okafor for 12 minutes a night. Due to the fact that it's 2024, he's going to have to extend his range. I know he's comfortable from 17 feet to 20 feet, but he's going to have to give me that 3 ball.
At least 1 or 2 a night, the way the game is played.
There's no reason why I can't ask Jalen Smith and Jaleel Okafor to give me the same thing.
Yeah.
There's no reason why I can't.
And here's another guy. I don't know why he doesn't have a spot on the roster right now, DeMarcus Cousins. I wanted the Bulls to go after him 2 years ago.
Yes.
Bring him in, man. When we went after Andre Drummond, I was cool with that. He provided that spark. I said, but man, if you want to have that on top of some offense, man, go get DeMarcus Cousins.
And then what the Bulls need to do right now, they got to find a lightning rod. For a long time, the Bulls have been just meh at the podium, right? Mm-hmm. And that hurts because now the media, you're not saying anything
he's
at
in
the podium. So I got to just micro analyze everything you do on the court. You get a guy like DeMarcus Cousins, he instantly takes the attention off of, damn, you just really blew a 17-point lead. But Boogie's just said he just killed Joel Embiid and it got 1,000 retweets. Let's go towards that.
Right.
I think Ray Mike just died.
Oh,
No, I was looking to see where Jaleel Okafor is right now. He's with the Indiana Mad Ants.
yeah, he's in the G League.
Yeah.
Is that why that sound happened, bro? He not that weak, man. Come on.
No, he's not. No. He was a guy that was his talent just did not correlate with the way the NBA was going, unfortunately. And
Yeah.
it sucks. And it
Yeah,
sucks.
but I'm looking at him now. He's lost weight.
Yeah, he has. He's in great shape.
Right? Like hold on. I'm gonna pull it up. I'm a
You know, as guys, sometimes we hit that point in our life. We gotta hit the reset button. Where we hit, even if we having success or failure, you get to that point to where you just gotta hit the reset button. I think Ja just hit the reset button, and you're seeing the dividends.
look at Jaleel.
Because you understand, like, you know, there are not many people out here to put in the game.
What a pass.
No, there's not many people on the bench. Guys, you have.
That's not him. He just passed the ball. That's not
And
him.
the jam from Noel. A little bit more pace to the game now.
Set the screen, roll, nice. Get in position. There you go.
Okafor
off the
going to
dribble.
his
Get
right.
big, boy.
Shifts
Dang.
mid-stride.
They're attacking.
Beautiful.
The man that's going to have to get that defense together to keep them outside the paint.
Mangus with all kinds of
Inside
traffic.
presence. Good
Somehow
big boy.
got it to Okafor. Just not their night from downtown, at least so far. Still 5 to play.
There you go. Back to the basket. You too
Okafor
little. Get off
on
me,
Willie.
boy.
And
Love
he
it.
hits
N1.
plus the foul.
And Jaleel took about 5 dribbles. Like, what else do you want? What else do you want him to do?
So
Beautiful.
that was just a little quick snippet.
Hey,
Beautiful.
I ain't gonna lie. Y'all remember Greg Monroe?
I remember Greg Monroe.
Hey, he looked like Georgetown Moose right there on
Yeah.
that low block with that little floater right there.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, is that Jaleel Okafor or Prime Kelvin Cato?
I love it,
Let me see
man.
that.
Yeah,
He-
so
he-
what-
he-
That's why I was saying, wait, where is he at? So let me go see. Then when I saw it, I was like, oh snap! Wait a minute.
yeah, he's really working to get back
Nice.
in.
Yeah.
He-
So
And that's the thing. And that's what's crazy, Ray. He was always good.
yeah, he just-
Always.
it's like the people decided his game doesn't translate to the now NBA.
But
Yeah.
And
shit,
we know the now NBA is trash.
Right.
look at my boy from who
Because
got drafted by Boston, Jared Sullinger.
Yeah. He was another one.
Otherworldly, super talented.
And he's
Look,
only Jaleel is only 28 years old.
I
Yeah, he's
feel
still-
like Jared Sullinger owe me as a fan. I feel like he should give me like $2 because I should be
Right.
picking him up in fantasy, bro.
But yeah, man. So hopefully, Jaleel gets put on the NBA roster for next season. Hopefully, because he
should.
needs to. He definitely should. And so me and Ray, we gave our predictions about where we see the team at. So Justin, I want to see, how do you think the Bulls are gonna finish the season?
I'm excited to see us go down the stretch because we're getting to a point where we're more efficient. We're working smarter, not harder. That keeps
Yeah.
the boys healthy.
Mhm.
What I need Billy Donovan to do is I need him to get our front court more involved on an organic sense. And I don't want to feel like we're just forcing the ball into Vooch just because we got to run offense through a center. I don't want to
Yeah.
feel like we just forcing Patrick Williams to, shoot 10 to 12 jumpers just because we want him to stretch the floor.
Yeah.
Like, I want him to incorporate an offense that's more forward friendly. But I think we're gonna sneak into somebody's playoffs. I didn't like the in-game tournament because I don't like participation trophies. King Mac said participation trophies are bad, so they are. But I do feel like the Bulls finished the season strong, and we could fuck somebody's season up.
Yeah, that's the same thing me and Ray was saying. I said, now when it comes to not the Knicks, when it comes to the Cavaliers and the Celtics, I don't give us a shot at all. But everybody below them, Milwaukee, Orlando, we can give them a run, but I think Orlando.
Let me ask you a
strong.
question. In a 7-game series, what if I told you Cleveland only shoots 41% from the field? Do you think they still beat the Bulls in the series?
Yes, I think so.
I don't think so.
I think so.
Because that's a lot of 3-pointers that's missing.
It is,
Jack.
but those twin towers, man, we don't have
big.
anybody that.
It's those
Yeah.
big. And
We don't have anybody now.
And
We don't have anybody now.
Donovan, and my man from Gary, they do the same thing. They cut that pick and roll, real close. They get to the lane and just throw it up.
I tell you what,
It's all day.
you people better hope AK don't give me no 7-foot surprise this trade deadline, because Vucevic, don't get me wrong, Vucevic is trade bait, but he has a secret weapon in his back pocket.
What was that?
He can play on the floor with other bigs. He can, especially once you move him down. I think he's a 4. I don't think he's a center.
Vooch, I was earlier. I was telling people this last year. I said he was a top 10 big. People thought I was crazy, and now it's proven that to be true. He definitely has an offensive game of a 4. Defensive wise, he does not play as a center.
No,
he does not. But that is why I wanted the Bulls to solidify that forward position, because if I'm seeing it, if you're seeing it, Justin and Ray, clearly the Bulls front office sees it as well.
You know, some of the best possessions the Bulls had last year was when Vooch and what's his name was on the floor together.
Andre.
Yep.
Yeah.
Some of the best possessions, some of the best basketball happened when those two were on the floor.
Because in Adam Silver's league, there's only probably one person on the floor that's over the size of 6'9". Like, people don't really understand that the NBA has shrunk about a good 4.5 inches. If you put Vucevic on an Adam Silver power forward, he will turn into fucking Kevin McHale. I've seen it. I've seen it.
You are exactly right, and I hate the way the NBA is being played now. Everybody is.
That's why the ratings are down.
Bro, if the Bulls were smart, they could turn Vooch into Sabonis easily.
I wanted the Bulls to get that man so bad.
Bro, can you imagine Vooch and Sabonis on the same floor for 30 minutes?
Justin.
You know what?
Now I will say this. Because his name.
You didn't make me hot, son. You got the vein.
This man took off his shirt.
He always takes his shirt off.
Now,
I'm not putting it on, so I don't.
Now I will say, since we're on this topic of trade, there's one guy, and I've been talking about this since June of this year, and my school, my alma mater, played against him, so I've been following this man since high school. He's on the Brooklyn Nets. He's a 6'8" forward that is scrappy on defense, that can shoot the ball, he can pass the ball, he does all of the dirty work. He's a upgraded version of Patrick Williams, and that is Dorian Finney-Smith. I'm gonna send this clip to the Chicago Bulls. I don't care if they don't see it, if they just ignore it. I'm gonna find somehow to get it onto Acme's desk. Acme, Billy Donovan, he played for you in Florida. You coached this man up, so you already know what he does. You already have that relationship with him. Chicago Bulls, please, for the love of everything that is wonderful, go get this man. Because he is the guy that can he is the guy that can take this team over the top in the season. If we were to go get Dorian Finney-Smith and your starting lineup is Josh Giddey, Zach LaVine, Patrick Williams, Dorian Finney-Smith, and Vooch, like you can swap out P. Will. I think I've been saying he's a bench player. So you could have Kobe, Zach, Giddey,
Julian Phillips.
Anybody can go in that position.
It can be anybody.
But if you put Dorian Finney-Smith on that 4 spot, the power 4 spot, along with Vooch, he now becomes your defensive presence down low, because I've seen him do it countless times in the NBA. And there was a reason why Dallas, they hated when the Mavs traded him. The fans loved him in Dallas. You know what I'm saying? So please, I hope the Bulls, because he's out there, they've already said he's available via trade. Who we have to give up to get him, I'm not sure. But if you want to make this season exciting, go get him, Bulls. Please do it. Please. They got Cam Thomas available as well, but we don't need another gunslinger. We already got that in Kobe White and Zach LaVine.
I actually prayed to God this morning that the Bulls trade for Cam Thomas.
Cam Thomas, he's another one that's from my area. He played at Oscar Smith High School here in Chesapeake, Virginia. He played, he's another one. I will say this. Zach LaVine can score, but Cam Thomas is on another level.
He's a different breed.
He's on another level, man, and he's efficient with it. But the problem is that's the only thing to his game.
When he gets
He a
hot,
black hole.
Yeah, that's the only thing to his game,
gets
man.
hot.
Yeah.
But you know what, bro? I'm not gonna lie. I don't care. Give it to me. Like
Yeah.
if you put Cam Thomas in a situation to where, okay, you get 16 to 20 shots a game, Cam. What you do with him is your business. If the Bulls could get a guy like that, I think Cam Thomas puts enough pressure on the man in front of him to where, damn, it's gonna be hard to guard Cam Thomas and then come back and run a full offensive set. Because you know, with the NBA being baseline to baseline, like
Yeah.
that, you said it earlier, Greg, like that wears you down. I
Mhm.
think Zach LaVine is the only guy on the perimeter that could really wear you down offensively.
Oh, I agree. I agree with
If
that.
you put Cam Thomas in a situation like that, now it's just like fuck. It was like when Indiana had Danny Granger and Paul George. It was like, what the fuck do
Yeah.
we do? What
Yeah.
do we do, America?
I see what you're saying. Now the only problem is, so that means they say they bring in Cam Thomas, so now he goes to the 2, Zach LaVine goes to the 3. Who would be the starting guard? Would you have Josh or would you have Kobe?
Josh, for sure.
Josh, that makes sense because you need somebody to facilitate the offense. What
I need
makes sense
that
to have.
firepower off the bench.
Right.
If a
Yeah.
hot Kobe White can win me a ball game. I've seen
Yeah,
it already.
having him and Lonzo come off the bench, that's nasty. That is
Yeah.
nasty.
Yeah, like people
Yeah.
don't know if the Bulls were a well-ran organization from the jump, that 3-point record that fucking Kirk Heinrich hit,
Mhm.
Kobe White could blow that shit out the water.
He really good.
He could
I
blow that
agree.
out the water just off the fact that that's what he do.
If we would have kept Ben Gordon, he would have broke it.
Ooh.
He was one of my favorite players ahead of his time. Shout out to Ben Gordon, man. Shout out to Ben Gordon.
Watching guys like Ben Gordon and John Salmons in the playoffs made me appreciate the Chicago fucking Bulls because they were hood hoopers, bro.
Yeah, they were. But while we're on it, Ray, I don't know what was going on with guard packs in that 2 guard position when we had Derrick Rose.
I gotta put this.
Oh no, it's Keith Bogus, man.
It was
Keith
Keith
Bogus.
Bogans. You had
That man was a pit bull.
after his prime, Rip Hamilton. No, this is no slight to Rip at all. He's one of my favorite players ever.
I thought when Rip, that the year they got Rip, I said, yeah, this is gonna be good for Derek.
Yeah,
but he ended up getting hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Rip
I
was
honestly think had Derek. Well, we all know if Derek did ever got hurt and we had Rip, right? Rip was good for the Bulls with Derek. Without Derek, there's no point of having Rip.
You know who I wanted the Bulls to get?
That is true.
Who reminded me of Rip Hamilton a little bit. I wanted the Bulls to make a run at Kevin Martin when he was available.
Oh, that's a good comp.
Because let's just say I got Kevin Martin cooking. That's mid-range. That's threes. That's free
he was a 3-level
throws.
scorer. Yeah, he was a 3-level
so
scorer.
It was like you don't know where it's gonna come from, how it's gonna come. People got away from going towards that niche on a basketball court, that one-dimensional dominant guard, bro.
Yeah.
What's the boy? Gary Harris.
Yeah, he's over there down in Orlando right now.
I needed Gary. I want him to stay in Denver. I ain't gonna lie. Gary Harris and Jamal Murray was one of my favorite combo additions.
He's down. He's doing the same thing down there.
Yeah, he is. He is.
Oh, Orlando might represent the East in the finals.
I wouldn't doubt it. Hey,
Orlando might
Ray. Hey, you know, Justin, you definitely was watching this show earlier because I had Cleveland early in the season. My man Ray had Orlando early in the season. I'm telling you guys, tune in to the Refs Call show. We know what we're talking about when it comes to this game of basketball, bro. We know what we're talking about.
Yeah, I wasn't watching shit. I was like literally on the fucking clock.
It's funny you say that though, man, because
I love Orlando. I love everything about them. Banchero, both
and they're young, Justin. They are young.
Both Wagner's.
Yeah, man. They're young, so they're gonna be a problem. And shout out to Wendell Carter, man. He's doing his thing down there. Yeah. He's doing his thing down there. The Bulls. He had a weird fit while he was here with the Bulls, man. It was weird.
I liked Wendell. Everybody thought I was crazy. People called me crazy for liking Wendell the way I did, But
it was just it was a weird time in the organization, and so unfortunately, we had to move on from him.
yeah,
Shout out, you know, shout out to
Yeah,
him,
that
man.
yeah.
'cause he
Well,
was killing as soon as we traded him too.
Yeah, as soon as we traded him, we went off.
how much longer you want to go, Greg?
We can actually end it right here because
Well,
yeah.
let's before we end it, let me put Justin on the big screen.
Okay.
Since we here, just a little some more little housekeeping. Okay, some more housekeeping. So let me,
Yeah.
Oh boy, I done fucked it up.
he done fucked it up.
Yeah.
There we
All
go.
right. So since we're here, Justin, go ahead. Let the people know.
So basically, us at Bad Guy Radio, we have been kidnapped by Ray's Juke Joint. So we will be bringing the bad guys to the joint. We will put the J in the joint. So I'll tell you the plan, Ray. We're going to have a lifestyle show every Tuesday night, recovering everything that went on in Chicago sports, your fantasy leagues, my fantasy leagues. And we are going to tell the America people's truth, because there have been numerous groups trying to get us off the internet, Ray. They tried to kill the scumbags. And what do? We push forward. So even though that our founder, CEO King Mac, is a sex addict and has destroyed our podcast platform, we will rise again. So we will be bringing the J to the joint.
Shout out to Justin, man. Keep doing your thing, my guy. Yo, Ray, you really building something with this brand, man.
I am, man. I'm trying
Tuesday nights is gonna get real nice.
I'll make sure I tune into that.
Yeah. So yeah. Thank you for that, Greg. I'm trying to. And thank you everybody for tuning into the Juke Joint channel. The reason why it's named the Juke Joint is because of this. My plan was to have people there to have a voice, right? A juke joint back in the day. If you don't know what a juke joint was, where everybody came to hang out, listen to live music, be around a watering hole. It was just basically where people came to have a good time. That's why we named the spot the juke joint and all that good stuff. Long story short, it's taken a couple years, but I have my vision is being fulfilled now that I'm going on my 4th show. And as soon as Nick, I'm tired. I'm gonna tell Nick, I'm tired.
You pointing at me and you talking to Nick.
Well, okay. So over here, Nick.
Now you pointing at Greg.
Nick, all I'm saying, Nick, we need you to hurry up and figure this thing out, man, because the people need you. Like, we have a superstar on the rink in Chicago.
Yes, sir.
The Ice has the Chicago Blackhawks have a superstar, and he is not being talked about on this channel that you should have been doing since last year.
No, you're not finna do my boy Nick.
So anyway, Nick, I'm just saying, let's get that going. So that would make 5 shows on the Juke Joint on different days and so on and so forth. And maybe even more, because I have been in talks with somebody to cover the other team in Chicago, and they said they'll do it.
Oh, wow. You bringing the Cubs on?
Yeah.
Time out.
Wow.
You didn't tell me this when I fucking signed my life and
Well, he's a scumbag.
Life over.
He's a scumbag. So he's
a Cubs fan. He's a Cubs fan. Of course, he's a scumbag.
Yeah. So
he's a loser too, and a lame, and a Buford.
Yeah. So he you know. So I'm still twisting his arm, but he needs. They need a place to talk to. So
yeah.
And I
still repping the city,
I mean, it's not about repping the city. I just need. I want more people to have a voice, and that's really all I want. I want people fandom to be unregulated. I want people to express their fandom. We got.
I tell you what, next Tuesday, let's have these Cubs fans on the show.
Okay, they're mad at me today because I told them that their trade proposal was preposterous
for Crochet.
Yeah,
they're idiots.
It's like, what? No, and then I'm being told Crochet is not worth a top 20 prospect. What? a deal can get done and shout out to whoever that was. I bookmarked your tweet, so when they do trade them and there's multiple top 20 prospects for Crochet, I can say I told you, right? Because I told the Cubs fans that any deal with them not involving Matt Shaw is not happening. They didn't like that, but that's just reality. Anyway, so so tune in on Mondays at 1:00, the Fair Catch Show. Mondays at 3:30, we have the Pickoff Baseball Show. Tuesdays, Justin will be bringing, I don't know, I forgot what the name, I think it's Jay Safari or something like that, I want to say.
No, that sounds a little fruity.
Okay, well, it's something Jay's going to come up with. He always
give him time. You know, he smokes a lot of weed.
Yeah, he'll figure it out. He has it or whatever. So it'll be that's what time on Tuesday, whatever time on Tuesdays.
Stop pointing at me.
All right, so then on Thursdays is the ref's call whenever, and then if Greg got to call an audible, he will. And then you always have the emergency pods with something like when Soto gets signed
to the Red Sox.
If he goes to the Red Sox, I know you're going to want to be on here.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, if he goes to,
I'm gonna have on less clothes than what I just showed you.
if he go, I know. If he goes to the Mets, Asinine said that he's not going to be happy. He said other things, but I'm not going to put his business out there. But it's looking like Yankees right now. So anyway, long story short, just keep tuning in. If you're on YouTube, please subscribe, hit the bell, so on and so forth. Like the videos. And if you're on Twitter, if you can, run over to YouTube. Just type in RAE Juke Joint. It'll pop up. Find us. Subscribe over there, and just follow us on Twitter. Just follow the different personalities. But like Jay said, it should have been there before, and we've done multiple joint ventures with Bad Guy Radio, and we're just a big old
wait.
What?
Nothing. No.
Okay.
I'll wait till after the show.
Yeah. So I mean, Bad Guy Radio and everything like that. So I forgot my point, but we got a lot of personalities in our community, and I just think everybody should be on YouTube talking.
I agree.
Yep.
And you know what? Ray? That's why you're the OG, because OGs operate like that. They pave the way for the young guys, young bloods to come in. They teach them the right way, and they set them up. So
that's what I wanted to do. But it's your show, man. So you take us out of here, bro.
Yeah. So I always like to end the show on a positive note. So I want to shout out to my fantasy football teams. I'm in 5 leagues. 3 of them are big money cash prizes at the end. Big money meaning being $800 to $1,000 possible. So the first league, I clinched playoffs and first round bye. Second league, I clinched playoffs. Third league, I clinched the playoffs in the second seed. So I'm looking good at that. The other 2 leagues, I don't want to talk about it. I'm not going to talk about that. All right. It was a bad year for me. But my main 3, I'm in the playoffs, man. So with that said, man, continue just to find out what your purpose is in life and get around like-minded people and show love constantly, man. Yeah, I'm all about love, and I'm gonna do the best I can to put people on. And just do that. Just do that, bro. Just do what you can to provide a way for those around you to eat, because we all eat. You know what I'm saying? Take this show for an example. When one eat, we all eat. And that's how we operate back home in Chicago as well. That's why Chicago is near and dear to me. That's why it's home, because everybody eats around us. You know what I'm saying? So with that said, this is the Ref's Call Show. We got Ray the Barber, the OG. We got my man Justin. Welcome to the brand. And make sure you tune into his show on Tuesday nights. You're going to see him go shirtless. It's going to be hilarious.
Again.
Tune in to my guys. I want to shout out Justin. I'm sorry, not Justin. Julius and Elise. They do a fantastic job on this show as well. Tune into them, man. Great football knowledge.
And real quick, shout out.
Yeah, go ahead, Ray.
Shout out to Zay coming back. I didn't know that was going to happen.
I saw that.
Surprisingly, Zay has been on the last couple shows, so they did that without telling me. So it is what it is.
He popped back up like pay-per-view Goldberg.
I thought I was seeing things when I tuned into the show this past the last show. I said, is that Isaiah?
Yeah, I said
WrestleMania Undertaker. He got one more show in him.
I'm back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So no, but shout out to Zay. I never had no. I never wanted Zay to not be a part of because he was initially a part of it.
for sure.
But you know, things happen. People are people. Humans
Yeah.
are humans.
We
And
family,
it's always
man. You know, family
understanding.
they're gonna have little spats here and there.
Yep,
You
yep.
know, we make do what it do. And
Yep.
Nick, don't take it personal. Ray got on me when I was being hesitant to start.
Yeah.
But I promise you, just start.
Just
Hey,
start. It's just
start.
get off the snide. Yep.
Yeah, man. And it may seem a lot in the beginning, but just start. You'll find your footing, and before you know it, it'll become like riding a bike. So, with that said, this is the Rest Call Show. You guys have a wonderful evening. Tune in to the Bulls game tomorrow night, 8 o'clock. We play the San Antonio Spurs. So
Oh,
hopefully
fuck.
we get that going. Yeah, we had. I think we can beat them, though. I think we can beat them. All right, man. You guys have a good night.
So stupid.